Thank you so much for watching Landumc Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. Body Heat is a 1981 erotic thriller film that stars William Hurt, Kathleen Turner, Richard Crenna, and it features Ted Danson, J.A. Preston, and Mickey Rourke. The inspiration for the movie came from a 1944 film called Double Indemnity. After penning The Empire Strikes Back from 1980 and Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1981, Lawrence Kasdan took advantage of his newfound fame by asking for and receiving the opportunity to make his directorial debut with this movie, Body Heat. It stars Kathleen Turner in her feature film debut as Maddie Walker, a woman who has an affair with a weak-willed lawyer named Ned Racine, played by William Hurt. In true femme fatale tradition, she convinces Ned to kill her husband Edmund and to make him think it was his idea. Lawrence Kasdan had made a name for himself as a writer, but he was untested as a director. But in steps George Lucas, who agreed to sponsor him. But he wouldn't put the Lucasfilm name on the movie because he felt it was too dirty. Lucas gave the production company $250,000 to use if the new director went over budget. Lucas also helped Kasdan by spending one day with him in the editing room, sharpening his editing skills and giving him a most useful pep talk. Kasdan said that this important advice was more important than anything that had been told to him about directing. Christopher Reeve actually turned down the role of the lawyer Ned because he just didn't think he would be convincing enough as a seedy lawyer. He later went on to regret this decision, but he was happy that his friend, William Hurt, was cast in the role instead. Initially, Kathleen Turner was not allowed to audition for this role. It just so happened that she was in L.A. to read for some female mud wrestling film that thank God she didn't get, and at the same time, a woman was casting this movie. Kathleen was able to see her and do a reading for her, which excited this casting director. When Turner came back the next day to read for a new scene, Kasdan admitted that he never thought he would ever hear the scene as he heard it in his head until he heard Kathleen when she read from the script. The production company was still concerned that she wasn't experienced enough to handle the role, so she had to audition for them too. She walked into the room where it was a white-on-white setting, white sofa, white rug, blonde wood, and there was a huge ashtray in the middle of a table that was filled with cigarette butts. She was sitting there with a script in her hand, and one of the vice presidents told her to do a drunk scene. She started doing just that, and she threw the script across the table, and it knocked into the ashtray as she watched it fly across the room. The cigarette butts went all over the place, all over this white rug. She immediately got down on her hands and knees and started picking them up. She was extremely embarrassed that she did this, but she swears that this is what changed their opinion of her, and they decided to hire her. The movie was shot during an unseasonably cold Florida winter. Turner and Hurt had to put ice cubes in their mouths before they would talk so that their breath wouldn't show. Their sweat had to be sprayed on. When the two shot their sex scenes, the crew was dressed in duffel coats and scarves. When the tension became too much on the set, Turner said that she and Hurt would have races up and down the lawn, or they would jump into the water. But she also admitted that she would shake and cry in her dressing room after shooting almost every heavy scene. She felt like it was just really powerful stuff to capture on film. One day while she was shooting, Turner was told by her agent that he had heard that she was having an affair with both Hurt and the director Kasdan. She just couldn't believe it. She said it ruined everything for her. It really hurt her, and she felt like every time that the three of them went off to talk or to rehearse, they would be thinking this. It kind of bursted her bubble on the entertainment industry and made her realize that this is the real world and rumors run rampant sometimes. This film ended up being Mickey Rourke's big break. He had already appeared in the movie 1941 and also in Heaven's Gate, but his real breakthrough came from playing Teddy Lewis in this film. When Rourke got this one-day gig, he was able to quit his job as a bouncer at a transvestite nightclub. Rumor has it that William Hurt and Kathleen Turner wanted the crew to feel real comfortable when they were filming their love scenes. So they lined the crew up and both actors introduced themselves to each crew member. The odd thing about this is that when they did it, both stars were standing there naked. Ted Danson's mother went to see the film, and she walked out in the middle of it due to the picture's provocative nature. But she never told Ted this. She pretended for years that she had seen the whole movie, but that wasn't the case. She finally revealed the truth to him a few years down the road. The Maddie Walker character was modeled on the film legend Lauren Bacall. Kathleen Turner was cast in this role specifically because of her similarities to Bacall, including her distinctively husky voice and her long, shapely legs. The other similarities between Bacall and Turner are that in Bacall's debut film from 1944, entitled To Have and Have Not, it was called one of the most sensational debuts in film history, and it really made her a star at the time. Turner's debut in this film, playing a similar character, was also hailed as one of the most sensational debuts ever, and she immediately skyrocketed to fame. This is the first of 4 films that William Hurt did with the writer-director. The others were The Big Chill from 1983, The Accidental Tourist from 1988, and I Love You to Death from 1990. William Hurt said that his relationship with Kasdan was the most rewarding of his entire career. The movie's original screenplay contained a failed first murder attempt. This sequence was actually shot, but it was later cut out because they felt like it slowed down the movie's pace. That footage of the botched attack was merged with the film material from the successful kill to form what you finally see in the film. The director really wanted this film to have the intricate structure of a dream, the density of a good novel, and the texture of recognizable people in extraordinary circumstances. A substantial portion of the film was shot in East Central Palm Beach County, Florida, including downtown Lake Worth and also in the oceanside enclave of Manalapan. Additional scenes were also shot in Hollywood Beach, Florida, such as the scene that was set in a band shell. There was originally much more graphic and extensive sex scenes in the original footage, but it was only shown in an early premiere in West Palm Beach, Florida. It was later edited out so it could get wider distribution. In this movie, it's definitely one of those cases where less is absolutely more. This film is stunning, and the scenes between Turner and Hurt definitely put their mark on the audience. It really was one of the films that got talked about at the water cooler the next day. Take a look back at this great suspenseful film. You'll thoroughly enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.